In this video, you're going to learn how to prove triangles similar using the angle-angle similarity theorem. And we're going to go through three proofs together. So I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks and some techniques. Each of these proofs is slightly different than the previous one, so check out all three. Let's dive into the first example. So the first thing that you want to do is understand that in order to prove triangles similar, you want to show two angles are congruent. If you can do that, then automatically the triangles will be similar, and that means that the corresponding sides are going to be proportional. It's kind of like when you go on your smartphone and you zoom in on something or on your iPad. It's proportionally larger or smaller, but the angle measures are going to be the same, so it doesn't look like the figure is distorted at all. But there's three different ways to prove triangles similar. There's the angle-angle, there's the side-side-side similarity, and then there's the side-angle-side. But for this video, you're going to learn about the angle-angle. So when you do these proofs, just like we did when we proved triangles congruent, it's kind of the same idea. You look at the givens and you say to yourself, okay, LM is parallel to PO. Let's go ahead and label the diagram just so we don't have to remember that in our minds. And think of the givens as like a clue or a hint. And so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to prove that the two triangles are similar. This is the symbol for similar. And we're going to do that by proving two angles are congruent. So when they tell us that these lines are parallel, sometimes what I like to do is like extend these lines a little bit, okay, like this, kind of think of them as a little bit longer. And then if you look at this like as a transversal, see how this is cutting across those two parallel lines? And this is something that you did earlier in your geometry class. You have parallel lines cut by a transversal. And remember how this angle and this angle are congruent? So that would be like something like here and here. Those are called alternate interior angles. Interior, they're in between the two parallel lines. One's on the left, one's on the right side of that transversal. So that's what we're going to state first here. We're going to state, in the first statement, usually what you want to do is you want to write your given. So we're going to say LM is parallel to PO. That's just going to be given. Step number two, we're going to say that angle M is congruent to angle P, and that's by the alternate interior angles theorem. I'm just going to abbreviate for space here. And then for number three now, what else do we know? Now, some things you can figure out from the givens, right? Those are clues or hints. But some things you can figure out just by looking at the diagram. So when we look at this diagram, what I notice is whenever I see two lines that intersect like this, they form an X pattern. What do you know about these angles that are across from each other? Either these two here or these two here. Those are going to be congruent to one another. That's called the vertical angles congruence theorem. So here I can see that this angle is congruent to this angle. Now, you don't want to say angle N is congruent to angle N. When there's more than one angle at that vertex or that hinge, you want to use 3 points. So we're going to say angle LNM is congruent to, we'll say angle ONP. Make sure you put that middle letter as the vertex. That's where it bends, that's where the hinge is, right? And so we said that's by the vertical angles congruence theorem. You can write it out, I'm just going to abbreviate here, okay? So now look what we have. We have two angles are congruent to two angles, so the triangles are similar by that angle-angle similarity theorem. So whatever you're trying to prove, that's always going to be your last step in your proof. So triangle LMN is similar to triangle OPN, and we're going to say that that is by the angle-angle similarity theorem, and we proved it. Okay, see if you can do example number 2. So in this one, we're given that VS is parallel to UT. So I like to mark that on the diagram so I don't have to remember, I can just visually see it. And remember, when we have parallel lines, I like to use that little technique of kind of extending those parallel lines here, okay, like this, and that sometimes helps. So I can think of like a transversal and that diagram that I showed you earlier where parallel lines are cut by a transversal. We want to prove that the two triangles are similar to one another. How are we going to do that? Well, notice we've got this little triangle here, and then we have this overall triangle. Sometimes what's helpful is to like pull them apart and draw them separately. Then you can kind of visualize it that way, just in a different format. But the first thing that I would do is I would list the given. So I'd say that VS is parallel to UT. That's given. For step number 2 now, I start to get a little bit suspicious. I say, why are they telling me that VS is parallel to UT? There must be some clue there. And there is. I can see that this angle right here is congruent to this angle right here. Now, why is that? Well, if we go back to this diagram right here, see how this forms like an X and this forms like an X, okay? See this X here and this X here. I've got like the upper right-hand corner and the upper right-hand corner. If I was to take this X and slide it up here, this upper right angle would match up with that upper right angle. We call those corresponding angles. If the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are going to be congruent. So let's go ahead and write that down. So we've got angle RVS is congruent to angle RUT. And that's by corresponding angles, okay? I'm just abbreviating. So for number 3 now, what else do we know? Well, what's interesting is these triangles, they overlap, right? So you've got this triangle here and they got the big triangle, but you see how they're sharing this angle R, they overlap at that angle R. What is it called when something is congruent to itself? It's like when you look in the mirror and you're the same height in real life as you are in the mirror. It's like a reflection, right? So we call this the reflexive property. You've seen this before, so we'll just write this reflexive property. Okay, reflexive, or you could just abbreviate a little bit, reflexive. And then lastly, let's see here. Now, notice what we have. We have 2 angles in this triangle are congruent to 2 angles in the big triangle, right? So 2 different triangles, but 2 angles in one triangle are congruent to 2 angles in the other. That means that the triangles are similar using the angle-angle similarity theorem. Now, you want to make sure that you're careful about matching up the corresponding angles and the corresponding sides. So in this case, if I say RVS, okay, so let's write that down. So triangle RVS is similar to triangle. Now see how I went from the 2 marked angle to the 1 marked angle to the no marked angle? I want to follow that same pattern with this big triangle, 2, 1, 0 markings, right? This way everything will match up, the corresponding sides, the corresponding angles, and that's going to be triangle RUT, and we proved it. All right, before we do this 3rd example, if you're enjoying this video and you want to go deeper learning math with me, I encourage you and invite you to join the channel membership. So if you join at the additional videos level, you can have access to almost 400 videos, which include my math courses, including my geometry course. And you've got access to midterm and final exam reviews, ACT and SAT prep videos, and I have some additional videos on there as well. So again, almost 400 videos. It's a monthly paid membership. You can join for a month and then you can, cancel, and then a few months later, if you want to dive back in and join for another couple months and cancel, it's very flexible. You can use it to benefit you. So if you're needing some help and you want to take advantage, jump on in. I've had people that have been members for years now and some that just joined for a little while, and it's perfectly okay. This is here for you, and I want to help you with your math. So check that out. Now let's look at number 3. So it says, given that VW is perpendicular to WZ and YZ is perpendicular to ZW, we want to prove that the triangles are similar. Okay, now remember, first thing when we do these proofs, generally I like to write down the givens first, just to cover my bases and get that out of the way. Now sometimes, if you're a little bit more advanced at these proofs, the technique is basically to state the given right before you're going to use something about that given, so it flows a little bit better. But if you're a beginner, it's okay to just get it out of the way, list it, here's your givens, right? Okay, but then you want to be suspicious. You want to say, why are they telling us that those segments are perpendicular? What does that mean, perpendicular? Well, it means that this is going to be a right angle and this is going to be a right angle, okay? Perpendicular. So let's write that down. So we're going to say angle W is a right angle. I'm going to abbreviate a little bit here, okay? And angle Z is a right angle. And notice how I mark it on the diagram, so I don't have to remember it in my head. I can just visualize and see it. And what's the reason for that? Well, that's the definition of perpendicular. Okay, so if 2 segments are perpendicular, they form that right angle. Now we want to take it one step further. We want to say, okay, if they're both right angles, that means that angle W is congruent to angle Z. What's that called? That's called the right angle congruence theorem. Again, I'm just abbreviating. So it means if you have 2 right angles, they're going to be congruent to each other. That's called the right angle congruence theorem. But remember, to prove these triangles similar, we need to show 2 angles in one triangle are congruent to 2 angles in the other triangle. So do you see another angle that would be congruent in both triangles? Well, again, notice we've got this X pattern here. So when you see that X, the angles across are going to be congruent. Those are called the vertical angles. So let's mark that down. And again, don't make the mistake of saying angle X is congruent to angle X. When there's more than one angle at that vertex, we want to use 3 points. So I'm going to say angle WXV is congruent to angle ZXY. ZXY, and we said that was by the vertical angle congruence theorem. You could probably just say vertical angles if you want to just be quick about it. And then for number 5, what do we have here? Well, we have 2 angles in one triangle are congruent to 2 angles in another triangle. So these triangles are going to be similar by the angle-angle similarity theorem. But what you want to do is you want to write your similarity statement showing how these triangles match up with one another, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that strategy where I go from the vertical angle to the right angle to the not named angle, right? So XWV, so triangle XWV. This is just one strategy, but I think it's helpful. And so what do? So we went vertical right none, vertical right none. So XZY, okay? So XZY. And that's it, we proved it. So great job working with these similar triangles. Again, check out the channel membership at the additional videos level, and I'll see you in that membership site.